Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? I hope all of you are well. I am humbly welcome all the students of class 11 in our milestone family. I am Rizwana Mukhtar, lecturer, Department of Physics. Today I will discuss about the vector addition. You know that this topic is included in your chapter 2 of first paper. Dear students, in our previous lecture you have already learned about the general law, triangle law and law of polygonal for vector addition. Today I will discuss about the law of parallelogram for vector addition. Actually, when law of parallelogram will applied? This law is applicable for co-initial vectors. Suppose two vector, it's a P and another vector Q are act at the same point. So we can say that this P and Q vectors are co-initial vectors, and in that type situation we will apply the law of parallelogram. Here you can see there's a parallelogram. Actually, parallelogram is such type of square where no angle is right angle. Here you can see there's no angle is right angle, and opposite side of the square will be parallel and equal to each other. So I can say that OABC is a parallelogram. If the adjacent side of this parallelogram OA and OC denoted two vectors, suppose the adjacent side OA is express the vector P and OC is expressing and OC denoted the vector Q, then the resultant of P and Q will act through the diagonal which will draw in the intersection side where the two vectors are meeting. That means from this point if we draw a diagonal, then that diagonal will represent the resultant value of vector P and Q both in magnitude and direction. Law of parallelogram is if two similar type of vectors represented by both magnitude and direction by the two adjacent side of a parallelogram, then the diagonal of the intersection point of these two vectors will represent the resultant of these two vectors by both magnitude and direction. That means we can say that the R vector will be the resultant of P and Q. That means R vector is equals to P plus Q. As R is a vector quantity, that means it has both magnitude and direction. So let's start to determine the value of vector R and the direction as well. Now here you can see that I extended the OA side to N and draw a perpendicular on the extended side which is BN. Now the angle between P and Q, suppose the angle between the vector P and Q is alpha. So if the angle between P and Q or the angle of COA is alpha, then we can say that the angle BAN is also alpha, as it's a parallelogram. And the resultant R is also created an angle with vector P. Suppose the angle which is created by the resultant with vector P is theta. So this angle will denote the direction of the resultant R. And now you can see that BAN is a right angle triangle. So in a right angle triangle we can say that the BN is the perpendicular, and as the angle is created with AN, that means this AN will be the base of this triangle and AB is the hypotenuse of this triangle BAN. Now in triangle BAN we can write that cos alpha means base by hypo. So we can write that AN by AB or AN equals to AB cos alpha. Here you can see that AB is parallel to OC, and from the definition of parallelogram we know that the opposite side of a parallelogram will be equal to each other. That means if OA represent the vector Q, then we can say that AB also represent the vector Q. So we can write that AN equals to Q cos alpha. If we apply the sine formula for this BAN triangle, then we can say that sine alpha BN, that means perpendicular by hypo. Hypo means AB. So BN equals to AB sine alpha. That means BN equals to AB means Q sine alpha. To use these two values later on our equations. Now you can see that OBN, it's also a right angle triangle, and so in OBN triangle firstly I am going to apply the Pythagoras formula. That means we can write that OB square equals to ON square plus BN square. In OBN we can write that OB square equals to ON square plus BN square. Now you can see that ON means OA plus AN. So instead of ON we can write OA plus AN whole square plus BN square. Now OA plus AN, that is A plus B whole square formula. Equation will be O A square plus 2 into OA A AN plus A N square plus BN square. Say that AN square plus BN square, AN square plus BN square, if we consider this is a right angle triangle, so the law of Pythagoras, so if we apply the Pythagoras formula here, then we can say that AB square equals to AN square plus BN square. That means OA square plus 2 OA AN plus, instead of AN square plus BN square we can write AB square. BAN we can say that A B square equals to AN square plus BN square. So instead of AN square and BN square we can write AB square. We can see that OB means the resultant. So instead of OB we can write R square. OA means vector P. So OA square means P square plus 2 OA means P, and AN, the value of AN is Q cos alpha. So instead of AN we can write Q cos alpha plus AB square. AB square, that means the value of vector Q, that is Q square. Now we can write that R equals to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha. Here's root over or. So by using this formula we can easily identify the magnitude of resultant R, that is R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha. Now it's time to determine the direction of vector R, that means the resultant, in which direction the resultant will work. Now we are going to measure the direction of resultant vector, that means in which direction the resultant will act. Here you can see that the resultant is creating an angle with vector P, and we denoted the angle as theta, and OBN is a right angle triangle. Here the base of this triangle is ON and BN is the perpendicular and OB is hypotenuse. Now if we apply the formula of tan theta on this triangle OBN, then we can write that in triangle OBN we can write that tan theta equals to tan theta means perpendicular by base. Here's perpendicular is BN and base is ON. And ON means OA plus AN. And write BN by OA plus AN. Now BN means Q sin alpha. Q sin alpha. OA means the vector P plus AN means Q cos alpha. So we can write that theta equals to tan inverse Q sin alpha by P plus Q cos alpha. This is the formula to identify the direction of resultant R. So we get two formulas. First is R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha, which is to measure the magnitude of resultant vector, and another formula is tan theta equals to Q sin alpha by P plus Q cos alpha. This equation is applicable for identifying the direction of resultant R. But in these two formulas you can see that the value of R or tan theta is directly depends on the value of cos alpha or on the angle between the P and Q. For the different value of alpha we will find different value of R and tan theta. The value of alpha is 0, that means in case number 1, if alpha equals to 0 degree, that means if the vector P and Q acts in the same direction. 0 degree means there is no angle between vector P and Q, that is they are acting in the same line. So we know that R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha. Now I am going to put the value of alpha is 0 degree. P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 0 degree. And you know that the value of cos 0 degree is 1. So we can write that P square plus Q square plus 2PQ. So it's the equation of a plus b whole square. So instead of it we can write that root over p plus q whole square. So we can say that r equals to p plus q. That means when the angle between P and Q is 0 degree, at that time the value of resultant will be maximum. So sometimes we use the maximum value of resultant R is P plus Q. Here you can see that P and Q, two vectors are acting in the same line. So the resultant will show the maximum value. Now the direction, that means tan theta equals to Q sin alpha by P plus Q cos alpha. And now I am going to putting the value of alpha is 0, that is Q sin 0 degree divided by P plus Q cos 0 degree. Of sin 0 degree is 0 and the value of cos 0 is 1. That means zero by P plus Q, that is 0. So the value of theta is tan inverse 0, which is 0. So we can say that if two vectors act in the same direction, then the resultant will be on the same direction also. Now, if alpha equals to 90 degree, that means if two vectors work perpendicular to each other, this is vector P and here is the vector Q, and the angle between P and Q is 90 degree. So in that case we can write that R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos alpha. Now instead of alpha I will write cos 90, that is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos 90 degree, and the value of cos 90 degree is 0. So we can write that R equals to root over P square plus Q square. That means when two vectors will act perpendicular to each other, then the magnitude of the resultant vector will defined with this equation. Now the direction, that means tan theta equals to Q sin alpha by P plus Q cos alpha, that is tan theta equals to Q sin 90 degree divided by P plus Q cos 90 degree. And you know that the value of sin 90 degree is 1 and the value of cos 90 is 0. So we can write that tan theta equals to q by p. That means theta equals to tan inverse q by p. So by using this formula we can identify the direction of resultant vector when these two vectors act perpendicular to each other. Now situation 3, that is, if the value of alpha equals to 180 degree, that means if p and q vectors act in opposite direction. Here is the vector p and this is the vector q, and the angle between p and q is 180 degree. In that case, r equals to root over p square plus q square plus 2 pq cos alpha, that is p square plus q square plus 2 pq cos 180 degree, and the value of cos 180 degree is -1. So we can write that root over p square plus q square minus 2pq. Here you can see that p square minus 2pq plus q square, that is the formula of a minus b whole square. So instead of a minus b whole square we can write p minus q whole square. R equals to root over p minus q whole square. So the value of resultant r equals to p variation q. Here I am using the sign p variation q. Why variation? Because when the value of p is greater, then we will subtract p from q, but if the value of q vector is greater than the vector p, then we subtract q with p. That means we can write p minus q or q minus p. It depends on the value of the vector. The direction of the resultant when the vector acts in opposite direction. So tan theta equals to q sin alpha by p plus q cos alpha. Instead of alpha, use 180 degree. P plus q cos 180 degree, and the value of sin 180 degree is 0. The value of sin 180 degree is 0. So we can write that tan theta equals to 0 by p. The value of cos 180 degree is -1, that means p minus q. So tan theta equals to 0. That means theta equals to 0 degree. So we can say that when two vectors act in opposite direction, their resultant will be in the direction either in p or in the q. It depends on the value of p and q. If the value of p is greater, then the resultant will act towards the vector p, and if the value of q is greater, then the resultant will act towards the vector q. Now the mathematical example. Here you can see that the question is, a body is pulled towards west by a force of 50 Newton and towards north by a force of 20 Newton. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant force. So we can draw a diagram by using that information. So here the given informations are Here first force P equals to 50 Newton and second force Q equals to 20 Newton and the L between P, that is alpha, equals to 90 degree, and we have to identify the resultant force, that is resultant force, which is denoted by R, equals to what, and the direction of resultant that is theta equals to what? We know that to identify the magnitude of resultant, the formula is R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos alpha. Now we know the all informations here, so I am going to put the values which are given in the question. P square, that is 50 square, plus Q square means 20 square, plus 2 PQ, the value of alpha is 90 degree. So after the calculation we will get the value of R equals to 3.85, and the unit of the resultant will be Newton, because we are calculating the resultant of force. So this is the answer of magnitude. Now the direction of the magnitude. Suppose the resultant R or is act making an angle with 50 Newton is theta. So we know that to identify the direction, tan theta equals to Q sin alpha by P plus Q cos alpha. That is tan theta equals to Q means 20 sin 90 degree, 50 plus 20 cos 90 degree. The value of cos 90 degree is 0 and the value of sin 90 degree is 1. So we will get tan theta of cos 90 is 0. We will get 50 or 2 by 5. That means theta equals to tan inverse 2 by 5. Thank you for being with me. Do memorize the law of parallelogram and all the formulas which are discussed in our today's lecture. Stay home, stay safe.